Alright, so today we're going to be doing a tier list of all the weapon mods in Crab Champions. I was originally going to do a tier list video with all the buffs across the whole game, like all the perks, the relics, grenade mods, weapon mods. That turned out to be a lot more work than I thought. All the wikis for the game are very outdated and did not include a lot of the new items. The items they did include weren't the updated versions. Also didn't have any updated images. So I ended up spending a long time in game making my own catalog and documenting every single item in the game. After that, I realized that the tier list website would not support 301 different inputs, so we're going to split this up into several different videos. The first one, just be doing weapon mods, and then we'll do perks after that, and then relics, grenades, all that stuff. So considering that, as far as I could tell, this is the most up-to-date version of every item in the game, you could also use this and the other tier list videos as a reference for any item in the game and what they do. Alright, so the ranking here is going to be based off their feasibility across the board. Obviously, with the different weapons, there's different play styles, and what may work really well with one, you're just never going to take on the other. So we got to take that into account as well. All these elemental ones, starting off these first. Arcane shot, ice shot, lightning shot, poison shot, and fire shot. I'm going to put all of these good, except for poison. I actually did not understand how poison worked like the first year I was playing this game. I got this game back when it first came out, but poison, now that I understand how it works, is definitely, I would say, the best out of all the elements. If you are not familiar, poison is the only one out of these elements that doesn't deal damage, but the more poison stacks an enemy has, the more damage they take. And especially if you're playing on a nightmare run, like trying to do a true nightmare, like a diamond run, you gotta get poison late game, because if you don't get poison, the enemies are going to outscale you to the point you're not going to be able to damage them at all. All the other elemental weapon mods here are still really good, and I usually get poison and at least one of these other ones for that damage, but any build I take, I always get poison. You gotta get poison. I suppose it's worth mentioning, if you did not know, do not combine ice shot and fire shot, because it'll remove each other's stacks. Alright, up next we got all these bogus ones that change your firing pattern. Chaotic shot, snake shot, zigzag shot. These suck. I think everyone knows these suck. Chaotic shot, I would say, is the worst out of these. Maybe orbiting shot. Snake shot and zigzag shot make your patterns less severe. They change them less. If you didn't know, the more of these you stack, yeah, they give you more damage, but it also messes up your firing pattern even more. So zigzag shot, what it does, it shoots like in a Z pattern, zigzag back and forth. Snake shot, more like an S. Chaotic shot, just all over the place. All these do increase your base weapon damage, but it's not worth how much they mess up your accuracy. Even with builds like the ice staff, I've stacked a lot of these. If once you get enough of these, it gets to the point where even though the projectiles are coming down right above them, they're still missing. So these, it's common for you to see a bunch of these early, right? These are worth getting early, maybe one or two of them just for some bonus damage, but I would definitely discard these as soon as possible and pick up some more reliable damage that isn't going to screw you. Spiral shot's in the same boat. Orbiting shot, I want to put orbiting shot in D, but I can actually see it being useful if you're trying to do like a melee build or a slide build. Orbiting shot, same thing, increases your damage, but your shots just orbit around you in a circle. Boomerang shot, I'm gonna put good on specific builds. I've done a couple builds, especially with the sniper. If you get piercing shot and you have boomerang shot, you can shoot through the enemies and the shot will come back to you, so you can essentially damage them twice because the shot goes through and comes back. So if you stack piercing shot with boomerang shot, it's actually pretty good. You definitely lose range though, because you will no longer reach like your maximum range for the bullets fall off. It'll reach the maximum boomerang shot range and then come back. Rapid fire, good with most builds. Increases your fire rate. Sharp shot. Okay, I'm actually gonna do sharp shot and damage shot together. These two, I think, are on the same tier, on par with each other, depending on what weapon you're using. So there's a lot of weapons in the game that have very low base damage. Damage shot increases your base weapon damage by, I believe it's 75%. So if you have one of those weapons like the laser cannons or the minigun that has super low base damage, like 2 or 3 base damage per bullet, damage shot's going to give you 1 damage. That 75% increase just going to upgrade it by 1 damage. Sharp shot increases your flat damage by 4. That's over 100% increase for some weapons. So depending on what weapon you're using, you're going to want to avoid damage shot and get sharp shot, and vice versa. Get sharp shot and avoid damage shot. Just because damage shot is epic, and just says increases your damage by 75%, your weapon damage, a lot of people think that you should just always grab that, but depending on what weapon you're using, it's going to be significantly worse than sharp shot. So those are both good depending on what weapon you're using. They're both on always grab. I would not always grab both of them. Pick whichever one makes sense for your weapon. Big shot, good on specific builds. Good with the launcher, orb launcher as well. So the rocket launcher and the orb launcher. It does make your shot slower, increases their damage, and increases their size. So I'm sure if any of you have stacked a bunch of these, you notice it gets to the point where your projectiles are super slow. So you're going to want to combine that with fast shot to make it travel through the air quicker. Alright, Big Mag. Increase magazine size. Good with most builds. Late game, you get stuff like efficiency, autoloader, all you can eat. You don't really need this anymore, but until then, yeah, good with most builds. Reload arc. So in the Anvil update, reload arc is actually smaller now, does a bit more damage. Still pretty slow. Not... It's good damage early, it's got like good base damage, but it's pretty worthless late game. Better than all these that make your shots stupid, but not great. Grip tape, good with most builds. I'd say it's better in Big Mag. Decreases recoil and spread. Now, okay, this is important. Each one of these grip tapes reduces the amount of spread and recoil of your weapon by 25%. You only need 4 of these. Anything more than 4 is going to do nothing. You can get 20 grip tape, it's going to do the same thing as 4 grip tapes. Once you get 4 grip tapes, all your shots, no matter what weapon you're using, are just going to be a beam. Shotgun, minigun, orb launcher, blade launcher, whatever, it's just going to be 0 recoil straight line. It doesn't matter how many you have over 4, so don't waste your money or your pickups and get more than 4. It's no point. Uppercut, good with most builds. Well, it's definitely really good on builds with higher fire rate. Take this on a lot of different weapons. We'll put good on specific builds, the best of B tier. It's pretty good. Bouncing shot. We will put this below everything else on B tier. Just like with boomerang shot, it's pretty good with piercing shot, depending on what weapon you have, because it can pierce through them and then bounce all around. And then if you don't have piercing shot and just this, then it's really only useful when you miss, and ideally you don't want to be making a build that relies on you missing shots. So Alright, heavy hitter. So, this makes your shots deal more damage, but also reduces your fire rate. I'm gonna put bottom of C tier here. There are much easier ways to increase your weapon damage without decreasing your fire rate. Keep in mind this is a percentage, like damage shot. All these ones that mess up your shots are percentages, so increases by, I think it's 30%. So you're only going to benefit on that significantly from weapons that have a high base damage, like the sniper or the rocket launcher, which already have low fire rates. So you're making it even slower than that really slow fire rate already. It's not going to be worth it. High caliber. Increase damage, reduce mag size. So you pair this with Big Mag, and you can just balance it out and get free damage. It's going to cost you 2 weapon slots, but it's pretty easy to negate. So we'll do high caliber, high B tier. Random shot? We'll do high B tier. So it just applies a random elemental effect. So like these appear poison, ice, lightning, fire, arcane. Every bullet has a chance to put a random effect on them. That's not great. Because the elemental expert tag, you can stack some pretty big global damage with that. So there is like a pretty feasible build to go with it. It's pretty easy to complete as well. Not bad, but I would rather focus on just 1 or 2 elements. Like I would go poison lightning, poison fire, poison arcane, something like that. Blind fire. Shots deal more damage, but your spread is heavily increased. So if you have max grip tapes, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't matter how much your spread is increased. Grip tape says your spread is reduced by 100%. So you could get 500 blind fires. As long as you have 4 grip tapes, it's not going to affect it. So pair this with grip tape, it's pretty good. We'll put a high B tier because it's pretty easy to negate. Again, same with high caliber and big mag though. It's going to take up two inventory spots for your weapon mods. If you've ever done a long nightmare run of crab champs, you know that inventory space is very valuable. So you want to try to get as powerful as possible while taking up as few slots as possible. So, alright, fast shot. This goes good with big shot because it negates the negative effects of big shot. There are few weapons this is really useful on. The blade launcher, rocket launcher, orb launcher, arcane wand. I mean, everything else, the bullets are already super fast, so unless you're going big shot, there's not really a reason to get this. It doesn't increase your damage, it just makes your bullets faster. We'll say high C. Good drink. Alright, so we're doing wind up shot, or just wind up. We're doing wind up and escalating shot together. They're very similar, so wind up says your bullets do more damage for each shot fired until you stop firing. Escalating shot says you lose 33% fire rate, but it is increased for every bullet fired until you stop firing. If you use the minigun, escalating shot is what the minigun starts with. It gets faster and faster until you're done. With certain weapons, escalating shot is definitely good, like the minigun or laser cannons. Anything that fires fast. So you take escalating shot and you get efficiency, which gives you free ammo. You can just keep firing forever as long as you're hitting something. It gets faster and faster and faster. It's pretty good. So we'll do high B. I think escalating shots really only good on a few items, but those items that it is on, it's really good with. Wind up. So wind up's a percentage, and those weapons that I mentioned, like the minigun, laser cannons, that would benefit from firing until stopping firing, would not benefit from a percentage damage increased. Late game, like if you have a bunch of all-you-can-eats or a bunch of efficiencies or auto-loaders, you can just keep firing forever with just any weapon. It could be useful. Not great in general. Put it below fast shot. Alright, light shot, you increase your fire rate, but you decrease your damage. I would avoid this at all times. Even for the weapons that are super slow at the start, like the sniper or the rocket launcher, I still don't think light shot's worth getting. It's not worth sacrificing your damage, and it's a percentage decrease of that huge damage, so it's a big nerf. Aerial shot, do more damage when you're in the air. So the weapon that this is outstanding on is the lightning wand. Lightning staff? I think it's lightning staff. The new weapon that shoots all the electric balls. You can just fly around forever, so you're always airborne. It's decent in general and everything else. I mean, late game, you can fly around pretty easily. You get something like low gravity or ring of rocket propulsion, you know. It's not bad. Really good with the lightning staff. Everything else, yeah, it's alright. We'll put it, yeah, right here. Glue shot. So your shots deal more damage and they stick to an enemy, but there is a delay before they explode. I've done a couple runs with this. It's super similar to time shot because there's still just a delay before damage. It's pretty much a free damage buff. You just have like a second delay on your damage. Not something I would hold on to late game, but pretty good go-to early damage with not much of a downside. So it's good with most builds early. Yeah, we'll put it low A. Not something I would hold on to late game. Good free damage, no downside. Trick shot. This is more damage while hip firing, less while aiming. So certain weapons, like all the akimbo weapons, trick shot, there's no downside because you're always hip firing. The dual shotties, the laser pistols, dual pistols, trick shot's good on. We'll put high A, right below uppercut. Steady shot is the opposite. More damage aiming, less hip firing. I think this one's less useful because with most classes, especially later in the game, you're going to be aiming less with how many enemies there are on the screen. You know, it's not really as important. You just need to move and you can get away with hip firing everything, you know. So, I mean, still with some builds like the launcher or the sniper, it's still pretty important on, so. Aiming, I mean, not steady shot, but we'll put it here. Put it below trick shot. Put it below escalating shot. Accelerating shot. I don't know why you would ever take this. Your bullets deal more damage, but they start off slow and then increase in speed over time, so that they leave your barrel slow and then get faster the longer they're flying. With some really fast projectiles, this is pretty negligible. But I mean, I was even doing a run with the machine pistol, and I got just like 5 of these, and my bullets were coming out so slow. By the time they sped up, the enemy was already in a different spot. Mag shot. Your shots deal more damage for each remaining bullet in the magazine. I mean, if you got a huge mag, like let's say you got a 100-round mag, and then you got an efficiency or an all-you-can-eat, so you pretty much never go below like 95 or even just stay full ammo all the time, then this can give you a huge buff. Without it though, there's only a couple weapons I would take this on. So late game, not bad. Get on specific builds, we'll put it above trick shot. Alright, ultra shot. There's a chance to fire separate high damage bullets along with your shot. It's not bad. I mean, I would say it's good with most builds. It's not something I would prioritize or take late game, but pick it up early. Some pretty good damage, especially against bosses. Put it right here. Streak shot. I'm not sure why anyone would take this. Your shots deal more damage for each one you hit in a row without missing. If you've ever played Cramp Champs, you realize how hard it is to hit shots in a row without missing. Certain weapons, it's obviously easier. You know, blade launcher, sniper, maybe. Deagle, or not the Deagle, the Seagull. But I mean, late game when there's shit all over your screen and you're flying around and dashing and scrambling, I mean, you're gonna be missing a bunch of shots. This is not worth taking. Time Bolt. Chance to fire, similar to Ultra Shot, fires a separate bullet, and that bullet does damage over time. I mean, it's pretty much the same as Ultra Shot, it's just a dot instead of immediate, so I guess we'll put it right below Ultra Shot. It's damn near the same thing. Time Shot. So increases your bullet damage, but your damage is dealt over time. I've actually done a couple runs with this. This is particularly good with Health Shot, especially since they changed Health Shot. Health Shot only heals you off bullet damage now, and late game, when you're just one-shotting everything, you only get one heal per enemy, pretty much. But if you have Time Shot, like, you'll still kill everyone super quick, but you get a lot more healing because all that bullet damage is over time. So it's good on specific builds. We'll put it, yeah, bottom of B tier. Not something I would jump after, but not bad. Recoil shot. We'll say rarely useful. This makes your bullets deal more damage, but increases your recoil a lot. It's pretty noticeable, even if you just have one of them. This can, you know what? Now that I forgot. So same thing with, you max out grip tape, then this would just be free, just like, where is it? Blind fire. So we'll put it right below blind fire. I'm moving these to bottom B tier. Forgot I had those middle. So recoil shot and blind fire can both be negated by maxing out grip tapes, but by themselves they're pretty atrocious. So good on specific builds once you get grip tape. Not something I would prioritize. Alright, we're on to the epic items. Before I get any further, before I forget, because I made this whole catalog myself, all the items, I went through and screenshotted my own game and then put all these labels on it. I was pretty thorough and I did multiple very long runs. I'm pretty sure I got every item, but if you notice that I missed some, if you're looking for a weapon mod on here that isn't listed, let me know and I will let you know where I would place it in the comments. So, Dagger Arc. All these epic mods that spawn things when you shoot, the Dagger Arc, Mace Shot, Bubble Shot, Link Shot, they're all pretty good. So I think they'll all be A tier. I would say, let's see, I think Mace Shot and Link Shot are the best. Link Shot? Yeah. Mace Shot's damage is huge. The percentage of them spawning is lower than the rest. Bubble Shot is pretty much guaranteed to hit, same as Drill Shot because it spawns on top of them. Dagger Arc and Pumpkin Shot we'll put below the elementals. While they're still good and they deal a lot of damage, they're fairly slow moving, so there's a good chance that they'll miss their target. Put Bubble Shot here, Drill Shot. Put Drill Shot here. You know what? Mace Shot. Mace Shot's pretty much just Pumpkin Shot, but it bounces. Pumpkins just roll, so Mace shot's damage is crazy though, so we'll put it above pumpkin shot and dagger. Alright, thorn shot, similar to these previous ones we just did, spawns a projectile when shooting, so it spawns a homing thorn, seeks out enemies, does damage over time. This one is really good. It's almost guaranteed not to miss, and even though it's damage over time, it's pretty good damage. We'll put top of A tier. Triple shot? I'm conflicted here. So triple shot, you have triple shot and X shot. These are the two. Oh wait, and arc shot. So these three are the only epic weapon mods that let you fire shots in a formation, which is really good if you have a single projectile weapon, which is most of the weapons in the game. So for example, if you're using the rocket launcher, instead of firing one missile, there's a chance you'll fire 5 in an X. Triple shot, you'll fire 3. Arc shot, I think it's still 5, but in a horizontal line. So triple shot is definitely the most accurate out of all these, because it's a pretty tight triangle. X and arc are pretty wide, so not great for single target, but all of these could be made into just a single tight cluster with grip tape. So we'll put triple shot, top of A, because it's still really good with any build that has a single projectile. And then X shot, put up here. Arc shot, we will put below it, because without grip tape, X shot is more accurate. Double tap. I cannot believe that this was made into epic quality after the Anvil update. This thing is amazing. There's just a chance that your bullets deal damage twice, so you just double your damage if you max that out. It's awesome. I take that on any build I'm doing. It's definitely less important late game, like when you got all the crazy AoE, elemental, explosive enemies, lightning bolts, all that going off, to where your bullet damage doesn't matter near as much. But until you get to that point, I always try to max this out, and then late game, if it's getting crazy like that, I don't need it, just sell it off. But definitely pick it up early whenever I see it, and hold on to it for a long time. Alright, health shot and money shot. Health shot heals you when dealing damage. Well, it actually got nerfed a bit. So previously, any damage you dealt, regardless of the type, would heal you. So that includes, like, previously you could light a boss on fire, right? Or get arcane shot on him, and then as you take that elemental damage, you can kind of hide, and that would heal you. Same thing with turrets. Throw turrets down, turrets will heal you. No longer works, it's just bullet damage now. So, like I mentioned earlier with that time shot. Health shot, not my go-to healing thing anymore. Not my go-to healing perk. It's still good with most builds, but there's much better ways to heal now. Much more consistent ways to heal. So we'll do right here. Money shot. So, money shot, same thing. You don't heal from any damage over time stuff anymore. It does give you slightly more crystals now, but still not great. Since they buffed paycheck, and since they added gold coating, you heal for, or you gain crystals whenever you heal. Money shot, still good with most builds, but health shot and money shot, one of these isn't better than the other. They're on the same tier, but both good, but there's better ways to get crystals now, and better ways to get health. So we'll get on to firework shot. This should have been with the others. Firework shot, we'll put it Put it below link shot. Pretty good. Just shoots out a cluster of fireworks, explode, do AoE damage. Shotgun blast. Chance to fire shotgun blast along with your shots. Long range, super inaccurate. Obviously, it's a shotgun blast, but those pellets actually do a lot of damage, so good for big bosses. We'll put it below pumpkin shot. Juiced. Always grab juiced, regardless of the build I'm going. Increases your fire rate, reload speed, Jesus, and weapon damage. It's not by a ton. I think it's 15% of all three of those, but you stack those. I mean, it's going to help all around with everything. So I'll put this better. We'll put that below double tap. Supercharged. Increase your fire rate a ton. So I want to put this in S tier, but there's certain weapons that this just you don't need attack speed on at all. You know, I'm still gonna put this in S tier. Just weapons like the minigun or laser cannons, where you're never gonna need attack speed anyways. I don't think this would apply for. So we'll put it below arc shot, next shot though. Spark shot, pretty good. Spawns a bunch of sparks when the bullets make contact. Is it better? Bubble shot. The damage isn't great, but it's a pretty big area around the projectile. You get a bunch of these, you can melt everything around it. Put it below bubble shot. Aura shot. I actually don't know if this is broken or not. Previously, aura shot was great. It makes an aura around your projectiles that deal damage when it passes anyone in that aura. Like I said, when I was researching for this video, doing all the runs and cataloging all the items, I got aura shot in 3 different runs, and it did not seem like it was doing anything. Previously, it's supposed to have like a circle around it, like an aura that you can see. Didn't have that, and then when my bullets passed right next to someone, it didn't do damage to them. So this is a really good weapon mod. I'm not sure, it might be broken right now at the current patch level, so I would say right below triple shot when it's working. If it's broken, don't pick it up. Piercing shot. Tempted. The only time I would not get piercing shot is if I'm using the launcher, because you want the launcher to explode on impact and do that AoE damage. So I think, yeah, this should be S tier, I believe, because you're not going to want that on launcher regardless, but everything else I would take at least 2 piercing shots on. Really cut through those late game hordes where there's swarms of people coming at you. Yeah, we'll put it low S. Don't think it's better than Supercharge, Arc Shot, X Shot. Yeah, it's really good though. Dagger Arc. Wow. I goofed. I already got Dagger Arc here. Ignore that. Arcane Blast. So spawns short range Arcane Blast when you shoot. Another one of these spawning epic mods. This one is not great. I think this is probably the worst one, in my opinion. It travels slowly. It's pretty close range. It does pretty good damage and puts Arcane on them, but not just for like its range and speed, not great. Targeting shot. Targeting shot right under double tap. So targeting shot says whenever you hit an enemy, there's a chance for your projectiles to split off and target other nearby enemies. So it's really useful on any weapon, I think. You max that out, any enemy you hit, it's also going to hit another nearby enemy with like lock on, so it's not going to miss, so you're hitting multiple people at once. You combine targeting shot with something like X shot, where you're dealing, or where you're shooting like 6+ projectiles, and then targeting shot is splitting off 6 additional shots. Combine that with firepower. You hit someone with 25 projectiles, then 25 duplicate heat-seeking projectiles are gonna bounce off that enemy and seek out separate enemies with targeting shot. It's a no-brainer. You gotta go targeting shot. Scatter shot. Take this on everything. Not. I'd say it's better than piercing shot. Yeah. So, whenever you hit an enemy, there's a chance for your shots to scatter into 3 smaller shots on impact that just like hit enemies around them. It has potential to do more damage than targeting shot, but only for enemies around the area. So, you get this and targeting shot, you're in business. Piercing wave. I do not like piercing wave. There's a chance you shoot a slow moving, like wide wave along with your shots that like pierces through enemies. The damage is decent early. I mean, late game there's just way better ways to get AoE damage, and they're way better epic mods for you to take. Put this in B tier. I'll put it below uppercut. Split shot. Gotta go split shot. I'm putting this above targeting shot. Split shot, there's a chance for your projectiles to split into 2 projectiles in the air. I think it's 2. It may be more. It's either 2 or 3 projectiles, but I mean, picture this, right? This just happened last night. I was running the rocket launcher. I had square shot. So that was 10 projectiles. I also had 4 fire powers, 14 projectiles, and then I had maxed out split shot, so that was turning into 28 projectiles in the air. I mean, it's obviously really good for the launcher, but that'd be good for any weapon, just to split your projectile into more projectiles in the air. It's really good. You just get free projectiles. It's like an easier to get firepower. We are on to the legendaries. Homing shots. Really good. Always take the... I'm actually going to put it below double tap, because there is a situation where I would not take homing shot, and that's if I have the... Is it ring of portals? Because there's a portal ring and there's a ring of portals. I think the ring of portals is the one that just says all your shots come out of a portal, like right on top of the enemy's head. I would take that over homing shot, but I would always take double tap, so almost top S tier. Splash damage. That is going above double tap. Gives your ability splash damage. It is amazing. The more you can get, the better. The bigger the splash damage ranges. Torpedo shot. Man, this one was broken for a long time. This didn't do anything. I believe it's working now, though. It's pretty good. Whenever you shoot, there's just a chance to spawn this, torpedo missile, like heat-seeking torpedo missile. I'd put it above juiced. Bomb shot. Whenever shots hit, there's a chance to spawn a bunch of little bombs around. Not bad. The bomb damage is pretty disappointing. You get a bunch of these, it's pretty good. But there's other better ways I would get AoE damage, like splash damage. We'll put bomb shot. Right, no, because I would take X shot or arc shot over bomb shot. Put it right here. Triangle shot. Same thing, really. You just shoot like this big triangle that does like AoE damage along with your shots. Well, there's a chance to. It's not bad. It does decent damage. It's slow moving. But I mean, there's better. I would rather take X shot or arc shot and increase my projectiles than triangle shot. I'll take bomb shot over triangle shot though. Ooh, no, there. Beam shot. This is one of the new ones. This thing gets it done. Not super great on like smaller creeps because there's a chance to fire this like huge stationary laser with each of your shots, but it's really good for bosses or slow enemies, and it does like a ton of damage as long as they're standing in the beam. So below homing shot, put it below split shot right there. Pretty good. Spike strike, chance for a bunch of spikes to come out of the ground when you hit an enemy. I mean, same with bomb shot. It's just a different bomb shot, really. It makes like a big AoE area around where you hit. I think bomb shot's better than spike strike. There we go. Square shot. So square shot is better than arc shot and X shot. I would take it over juice, torpedo shot. I take it over beam shot. Put it right here below split shot. Spore shot. Shots have a chance to spawn those big explosive mushrooms. I'm not a fan of the mushrooms in general because it, A, seems like their hitboxes are pretty buggy. I mean, you can be mowing one down, it's not going to blow up. B, it relies on you shooting the shot that creates the mushroom and then shooting the mushroom separately. It just seems like an extra step just to add like an AoE explosion. I mean, poisonous enemies would do the same thing but better. It does do decent damage when it explodes though, like AoE damage. We'll do, I think this one's going A tier. Put a high A tier. Fireball shot, pretty good. Shoots fireballs along with your shots. Put it below torpedo shot right here. Proximity barrage, this one's pretty good. So whenever you hit an enemy, there's a chance that it'll spawn a missile that will seek out another nearby enemy. So it's actually similar to targeting shot, but instead of just a copy of your projectile, it's a big ass missile. So we will put it right above targeting shot. Alright, fire strike and all the other ones. I'm going to explain all these strikes and the storms before we get into this. So yeah, fire strike, lightning, poison, ice, and then the same fire storm, lightning storm, poison storm, ice storm. So the strike, whenever you damage an enemy, there's a chance for like a big lightning bolt of that element to come down right on top of their head, like guaranteed hit. This works really good with like late game, other big AoE, like exploding enemies, electric enemies, crimson haze, and then just everyone around the map. You can just sit there without even firing. Everyone's getting hit by these elemental strikes. The storms, whenever you shoot, it creates like a huge AoE area around where you shot, and then everyone in that zone takes that elemental damage for, I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds until the storm goes away, and then it has a cooldown. So they're both good with what they do. I think the strikes in general are better than the storms though, because they can go across the entire freaking map and they don't have a cooldown. I think the lightning strike is the best one, because the lightning strike comes down, hits an enemy, right, and then it puts lightning stacks on them, which electrocutes other nearby enemies, which calls lightning strikes down on them, which electrocutes other, you know, it's like late game you get a bunch of these, and then like electric enemies, and you can just shoot once, and then everyone just gets electrocuted. It's awesome. I'm gonna put this right below homing shot. The other ones, I'll put it right below it because they're still good. They just don't have the spreading capacity. Now, mind you, you combine any of these with like exploding enemies or crimson haze, you know, like I was saying, they'll all proc off that. But this lightning strike one can proc off itself. It's awesome. So the storms, I think the firestorm does the most damage, so where would storm? take the storm. I take proximity barrage over any of these storms, so we'll put firestorm first, and the rest of them after. Okay, sharpened axe. Okay, I have just noticed, looking at sharpened axe, that I did not include homing blade on here, which is really good. So we're going to use this other dagger arc. This is where the real dagger arc's going, the one that looks like daggers. The fake dagger arc is going to be homing blade. Homing blade is really good. I would put it right above split shot here. This dagger arc is not dagger arc. This is homing blades. Okay, on to sharpened axe. Well, I guess I should explain what homing blades is. Whenever you damage an enemy, there's a chance to spawn like a giant saw blade that spins around on them. And then if that enemy's dead, it'll seek out another nearby enemy and spin around on them. It's really good. You can just have a bunch of blades just flying around the screen, chopping everyone up. The sharpened axe, whenever you shoot, there's a chance for an axe, the spinning axe, to fly out of your gun and go towards your target. So it's definitely worse than homing blades, because it's not heat seeking, doesn't spawn on the enemy, there's a chance to miss. I put it right below bomb shot. Landmine shot, chance for shot to spawn landmines. The landmines in general I don't think are great. They take a while to go off. You can also proc them. Putting the landmine shot above spore shot. Late game, I mean, if you have a bunch of these and there's just landmines all over the field and they're all going off and there's just red rings everywhere, it is super hard to tell what's going on and avoid damage. Firepower. Boom. Number one. I don't think there's anything on this list better than firepower. It just gives you an extra projectile for your weapon. I mean, even if you're using a shotgun, which already shoots like a dozen pellets, another pellet isn't going to hurt you, dude. It'll never be a bad choice. It's obviously better in certain weapons, like that have high base projectile damage, like the sniper, rocket launcher, you know, stuff like that. But even low damage weapons, you can still benefit so much from firepower. Because even if you're not benefiting from the damage that much of firepower, that's still giving you an extra bullet to proc any of these chance-based mods. So it just increases your damage, increases your odds all around. It is fantastic. Dice shot. So all of these, almost all these on here, are a % chance to occur when shooting. Dice shot increases the chances of all of these, everything in your inventory. Well, all your weapon mods in your inventory. And it's a good bit too. I don't know the exact amount, but it's got to be around 50%, maybe even higher. No, it's a good bit. It's a lot better than it used to be. Heat buff, dice shot. The thing is, late game, I mean, if you already have a bunch of these, you don't really need dice shot. If you're running a fast weapon, though, like the laser pistols, where the chances for everything are super low, dice shot is very helpful. We'll put... it's better than the storms. We'll put it below proximity barrage. Alright, well that's that. Important things to remember. Dagger arc is homing blades. Also, damage shot and sharp shot are both really good depending on which weapon you're using. I'm not saying they're both equally as good for all situations. You shouldn't get both of them no matter what you're doing. I will be posting a follow-up with another tier list. We'll be doing the perks. Unfortunately, could not load them all here. Also, there's 301 total items. Well, I guess since I forgot homing blade, 302 total items that I had to go catalog and screenshot and write all this for myself. So there's a lot to put in here. So we'll see if we can do all the perks next, and then relics. And then I'll probably put grenades and melee mods together, because there's not that many of those. Grenade mods and melee mods. Well, if you agree with the ranking here, give me a thumb, give me a shout out. If you think I'm a dumbass, I don't know what I'm talking about, well, you can comment that too. I will say my credentials for these tier list videos are I have diamond account rank on Crab Champs and I have 100%ed all the achievements, so I've played a good bit. I've done every class, every perk, every weapon mod. I've tried all of it. Alright, thanks for watching, sticking around. See you in the next one. Later.